What's up gamers, Cryptico here, and welcome back to Lowering the Mark, a show where I analyze the current and former world records of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe time trial runs to see how these records get faster over time. We'll look at elements such as the loadout, racing lines, and mushroom usage to better understand what's bringing these times down. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the notification bell to be the first to know when my videos go live. For today's episode, we're going to take a look at the faster run of arguably the most popular course in the game, Mount Wario at 200cc. On April 30th, 2017, the world record for this run was set at 1 minute 19.450 seconds by the French player Mary. Fast forward to September 8th, 2020, and the record was brought down to 1 minute 15.550 seconds by the Spanish player Alberto. That's a 3.9 second difference between records and a 4.9% faster time. Our former world record holder Mary has broken 8 world records across 5 unique runs, but has only spent 4 days holding at least one world record. Alberto, on the other hand, has broken over 490 world records across 51 unique runs and has spent over 1,100 days holding at least one world record. He's sitting pretty with his 29 current world records, and this one happens to be his third longest lasting current record. At pre-release, the world record was just a hair over 120, but in little to no time at all, it already got under 117, mostly thanks to the French player StarksLX. In July of 2017, many players were racing to get that next second break, and it was Irish player Kevin who got the first 116 and held on to it for nearly 250 days. The Dutch player Esper ended Kevin's reign and fought off a few of his competitors to retain his world record title. American player Nick stepped in for a few hundred days and brought the record down further, then Esper came back and put an end to the competition by dropping over half of a second off Nick's fastest time, as well as getting well under 115. His 115.7 world record would hold for over 500 days before Alberto showed up out of nowhere and took a few more tenths off himself. In total, the world record was broken 51 times by 12 different players. Similar to last episode, both loadouts don't look similar, but their stats are closer to each other than not. Mary goes with the combo of the Heavy Me character driving the Splat Buggy with the roller wheels and the Cloud Glider, while Alberto goes with the combo of Wario driving the Wild Wiggler with the Azer roller wheels and the Paper Glider. There are a few key differences to take a look at here. Mary has a half-point edge in the acceleration and mini-turbo stats. Both racers have nearly identical top speed, but it's Alberto who has the 3/4 point advantage in handling as well as the grip stat. Unlike the previous world records, having a high grip stat is super beneficial on this run because of the ice track and the fact that this is 200cc. Here's a look at the course. I can't quite cover everything if I split it up by lap, so I just went with 6 different sections instead. This course has so much going on, and it will be interesting to see how both racers handle it at such a high speed. Let's take a look. Mary starts off the race with a rocket start and hits a jump boost off of the platform. Once he lands, he'll chain 3 quick mini turbos together before starting his 4th drift off the ramp and hold it until he gets a super mini turbo. He'll then start charging another drift that he releases in the air before starting to charge up his next super mini turbo. From there, he'll charge one last drift all the way off the edge for the shortcut and the ultra mini turbo before finishing out this section. Alberto uses his first mushroom right out of the gate and hits that same jump boost off the platform. He'll perform the same quick mini turbo chain before hitting the second ramp. What he does differently here is he holds the mini turbo all the way to the next turn until it gets to be an ultra mini turbo. From there, he zooms on down and starts a drift which he'll hold until he falls off the ledge and it becomes another ultra mini turbo. Obviously that looked pretty similar, but that second ultra mini turbo paired with the mushroom at the start is clearly serving Alberto well as he leads by 1.2 seconds going into S2. Mary hits a wide drift in order to collect these 4 coins before hitting a jump boost onto this anti-grav section. He quickly hits another jump boost off of the glider and proceeds to low trick off the zipper ramp before flying on down to the water just before the next zipper ramp. Alberto grabs those same 4 coins, but hits the jump at a better angle which causes this funny graphical glitch. When he lands, he does a quick mini turbo jump boost combo off the glider and hits 2 low tricks before landing at the bottom. That's only one visual difference, but Alberto is actually carrying way more speed throughout this cave, and it's the reason he piled on another 7/10 to his lead to go up by 1.9 seconds going into S3. After starting a drift off the zipper ramp, Mary chains another super mini turbo to that before going on the anti-grav waterfalls and flying across those 3 zippers. After that, he'll use his first mushroom to make up some ground before hitting the end of this platform. Alberto starts it off the same way, but takes a more direct line through the inside of that factory and hits a super mini turbo of his own, along with a jump boost before the zippers. Between the second and third zipper, he angles himself to grab a quick mini turbo before heading off the platform into the snow. As you can see, there wasn't much difference between that section either, outside of that extra mini turbo, and Alberto is still holding on to his lead. That just shows you how much faster his loadout is and how good he is at handling his kart at such high speeds. At the moment, he leads by over 2.3 seconds going into S4. Now here's where it starts to get really similar. After both racers land from their jump boost, they bear left and start a drift while using a mushroom to make this cut. They each grab a mini turbo, go off the glider, and hit a jump boost. They fly on down, avoiding the logs, and go for a tight drift, weaving between the trees and grabbing a super mini turbo to close out the lap. Alberto actually lost a bit of his lead, but it still sits at a strong 2.2 seconds at the end of the second lap. Mary carries a drift all the way to the first ramp and tricks off of it and over the second one. From there, it's just a matter of weaving between the slalom as tight as he can. Unfortunately, this means no mini turbos until he comes out of the last bend. He'll grab two and then hit a couple of jump boosts before turning onto the final stretch of snow. Alberto carries a super mini turbo off the first ramp and weaves through the slalom with the same cautiousness as Mary, except he's able to grab an additional mini turbo before chaining two more and hitting those same two jump boosts to close out the section. I'm still not quite sure how, but this is where Alberto gains the most time on Mary. He added over 1.2 seconds to his lead after that slalom and remains ahead by just under 3.5 seconds going into the final stretch. Mary starts to go down this ski jump and hits a few zippers before hopping around near the end of the glider ramp. He'll hit all these rings on his way down to the bottom, where he'll use his final mushroom to cut through the snow on the final turn on his way to the finish line. Alberto goes down the ski jump the same way and also hops, but it's to get a quick mini turbo before the glider ramp for an additional speed boost along with that jump boost. He'll glide on down through the 3 rings and then hit that same mushroom cut as Mary to close out the race. Alberto definitely went off with this run and posted a time that ended up being 3.9 seconds faster than Mary's former world record. So by carrying more speed through tighter lines and utilizing the untapped potential of the Wild Wiggler, Alberto was not only to beat the world record, but also leave Esper in the dust with his efforts. Believe me, this is not an easy track to time trial at 200cc, and it is every bit as fast as it looks. Let's hear a couple words from the champ. What was going through your mind when you broke this world record?
I was relieved to finally be done with the track after such a long time trying to get this world record.
How come the Wild Wiggler ended up being better than the Biddy Buggy, a kart that has been used in this record for years?
The Biddy Buggy gains about 2/10 on S1 due to the higher mini turbo stat helping the icy terrain and because it can do a wall clip after the end NISC. The Wiggler can also do this, but it gains more time back because of the higher speed on S2 and 3, especially the S2 glider and everything from the bump tricks to the very end on S3.
There are still 0.3 of a second that can be knocked off. Is this close to a max world record?
It isn't close to max by any means because this track is one of the most inconsistent in the game. My current run is solid, but it can be improved by 0.2 realistically. S1 and 2 can also be improved by quite a bit.
Congrats on beating this world record and holding on to it for so long. Good luck on any improvements you go after. The best known splits for this run show that there's still a bit of time that can be shaved off. Alberto and Japanese player Yoshi each hold a stake in the best known time. Even though Alberto holds the world record, he's still around 12 frames away from the best known lap 1 split, so there's definitely a lot of room for improvement there. Lap 2, there's about half as much improvement to be had, and lap 3 has exactly no room to get faster at the moment. Most of the 18 to 19 frames that can be knocked off are definitely going to come from lap 1, which is interesting because Alberto already makes it seem so fast. Perhaps another challenger shall make the improvement instead. The worldwide top 10 consists of 7 national and 3 continental record holders. At the top is Alberto, just 0.2 behind him is Army, and in third place, just a hair behind him is Esper. Themo and Nick go 4 and 5 with just 0.5 separating them, while Yoshi, Eternal X, and Pi go 6 through 8 and also share that same 1/10 of a second separation. Rounding out the top 10, we've got Japanese player Kisaragi in 9th, and there's actually a 5-way tie for 10th place that includes super effects, 4 laps to win, Alpha, Jimmy, and Thomas. Other than Army or Esper, I don't quite see anybody else making it difficult for Alberto to keep his number 1 spot. He's held it for almost 300 days now, and maybe that's all you need to know about how strong this world record is. That's all for episode 42. Hope you found it interesting. I did find it nice to take a look at this pretty complex course again. Make sure you leave suggestions for the next few episodes, but only the courses I covered in Season 1. If you enjoyed this video, like and share it with your friends, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.